welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about Titans and Void 3.0 and how I think they got a little bit scammed by the updates, because while there's some benefits to this build, I don't think it's as good or as improved as what we've seen with Warlock basically having abilities all the time and Hunters being invisible all the time. But it does offer a purpose, so I'm going to talk about the kind of build that I put together. Now unfortunately I don't play my Titan often, so I don't have very good armors and they're basically based around intellect. So I tried my best to get strength and discipline involved in all of my armors. So I've got basically an 80 roll for both. I think if you had 100 roll in both, this would be obviously a little bit more suitable to the build. And then we're going to talk about Heart of Inmost Light. Use one ability to briefly improve your other abilities. Now this is going to be based around rally barricades, and when you pop that barricade, your grenades and your melee will be empowered. When you get a kill with your grenade or melee, it becomes empowered ×2. However, the problem is I can't find a way to get your abilities back quick enough to really take advantage of it on the spot. You kind of really have to rely on rally barricade, keep coming back, but then by the time your abilities come back, you've pretty much shot everyone in the area anyway. So I feel like we definitely need an ability regeneration perk of some kind. I'm using Vortex Grenade because with the distance from the rally barricade that I engage from, this is the most accurate and more forgiving grenades to actually get kills with the empowered grenade. Now the aspects are kind of funny because all three of them are useful but not superb, if that makes sense. So you can mix and match all of these however you want. Bastion, cast your super to grant an overshield to nearby allies. Casting your barricade grants overshield to yourself and nearby allies and empowers it, enabling it to slowly regenerate the overshield of allies bunkering behind it, extend their overshield duration. So if you want to be a team player, this one's for you. Controlled Demolition, hitting a target with void ability or volatile explosion makes them volatile. Further damage to a volatile target causes them to explode, grants you and nearby allies health when they explode. So again, supportive to your team, but also the volatile explosion can take out a whole bunch of enemies very easily. And that obviously really works with a grenade. Throw a grenade into a group of people, kill one of them, they all blow up, kill each other. Very, very useful. And then we have Offensive Bulwark. While you have an overshield or are inside the Ward of Dawn, your grenade charges significantly faster. You have increased melee range and damage, and melee final blows extend the duration of your overshield. So again, getting overshield and stuff like that. This is good to mix with is it Bastion? Yeah, because you're going to get your overshield back and then you'll get your grenade charges back. But this is really good to do max damage and hit a load of enemies and just wipe out a whole group of enemies instantly. And then more overshields and, you know, team play. So it's really, really truly about what you want to build. But I feel like probably these two go together really, really well. But then you lose the void overshield that you get from placing your rally barricade. So it's so awkward to work out what you want to do. I usually go with these two because it just feels like the most prominent in terms of the most consistent, I should say, in what I'm trying to achieve. So for the fragments, you know, there's not really truly a lot of things that kind of work with this build. However, I did go for this one, Echo Domineering, because it has +10 discipline, you know, to help me get my grenades back quicker. I could probably min-max a little bit with the fragments if I had a really good armor rolls, but that's what I'm using right now. Void abilities, final blows, cause targets to explode. So that really works really well with the volatile void ability explosions. And then we got melee final blow grants grenade energy. Now your melee energy is not going to come back as quick as your grenade energy. So if you're in a pinch and your grenade's almost to the top and you got a whole bunch of enemies, throwing out your melee is going to get your grenade back really quickly. The problem that I have with this build and why I feel that Titans were kind of screwed over is the shield throw really is not that good. It just isn't. You get your overshield for each target hit. Most of the time, this melee is only going to hit one person. However, it does work really well with the controlled demolition. So hitting a target causes them to explode if they're volatile, etc, etc. So it works well with that, but you don't get it back quick enough for it to be really consistent and effective. Because if you're behind the barricade and you're getting all these kinds of buffs and such things, the melee is going to be like a one-time use, whereas your grenade is going to keep coming back and you're going to shoot most of the enemies anyway if your abilities miss or don't kill everyone. So by the time either of your abilities are back, you've pretty much finished the engagement that you're in. Now you can keep planting your rally barricade and keep going and keep going and keep going, and that's great, but it also slows down gameplay a lot. So I feel like Titan are really kind of limited in their upgrades. Like I just don't feel consistent and comfortable enough to use my Titan, and I was really hoping that that wouldn't be the case, because I want to use Titan more. I use Warlock and Hunter and I barely touch my Titan. Unfortunately, I think it's going to stay the case. But in the background, you're seeing gameplay of me actually using this build. In the kind of campaign missions, I was way over in terms of power, so I was very easily killing and damaging a lot of people. I was just trying to show what it can achieve if it is hitting groups and groups of people. And then in the public event that you'll see, that is me being pretty much on level with everything in the throne world in the public area space. And I felt it was okay. You know what I mean? It was easy to get a whole bunch of kills when enemies are grouped up. So what happens then if you're in an area where there's 1 or 2 enemies, like 2 big knights or something, or, you know, just a boss on its own? You're pretty much just playing support and placing down your Ward of Dawn and, you know, getting your barricade and stuff. I just feel like they need more offense for the Sentinels. I know it's supposed to be, you know, like a defensive supportive super, but if you look at like the Hunters, especially for PvP, they're going invisible all the time and staying invisible. For PvE, their tether is really good now. Like, it's really useful, and they can still run around and do stuff. They could just fire their tether, get on with their life. Warlocks, you know, you got Nova Bomb, which does big massive damage, and how it pulls enemies into the middle as well to kill more of them, and you can still run around and kill people. With Titan, unless you use the Sentinel Shield, which hasn't had much of an improvement, it just feels, I don't know, it just feels a bit flat in what they're trying to achieve with this Void 3.0 upgrade. But if you're a supportive player and you don't care about running around too much, this setup would probably be for you. Obviously, with 100 discipline and 100 strength, and having all of your armors set up right with mods and wells, the well stuff where you pick up a well, I feel like you could make it viable to use on a day-to-day basis. But I do think that Titans in general was screwed over. This is the best build that I could put together. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you would change, what you would do. If you have any other builds for Void 3.0 on Titan, please let me know down below, because I'm trying to find something really good to use on a day-to-day consistent basis. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. I have been easynow. You guys have been awesome.